Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? Suro here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, it's time to take a look at Reddit, and actually probably our last Reddit review of the year. I gotta say, it's been a little bit since we've been over there, so I'm kind of curious what kind of topics are currently trending. I know the game is slowed down a little bit with the holidays and everything, but I still think that there's going to be some interesting conversations over there, so let's go take a look. If you guys enjoy my content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's jump right into it. Now here's an interesting post by Royal Avocado. They said, warning for replay. I actually just started a third account. I've been streaming it over on the Purple app. It's definitely completely different from when I played originally. I mean, there's just so many features and different characters, different gameplay elements and stuff. So it's been really fun, but let's see what they said. They said, for those of us who are either wanting to or going to replay, be aware of these things. So number one, if you have the Eternity Isle expansion, it comes in as soon as you finish Scrooge's third quest, so extremely early. Yeah, so the bad thing about this, I actually was talking about this in my stream, is if you will go ahead and purchase a bundle with like the DLCs, and then say, you know, you do encounter the Eternity Isle expansion, even if you don't like properly intend to go that way, it kind of makes the game really challenging because sometimes some characters will request things from Eternity Isle. And whenever you first start out, like, you don't even have Dreamlight to open realms, you barely have gold or anything like that, and you're focusing on the main valley, so it kind of does make it more difficult when the characters are requesting stuff from a completely different map that you definitely haven't been grinding on. They said you can start participating in Dream Snaps immediately, so if you like the challenge that brings, enjoy. Yeah, this is very true. Actually, it's one of the things I would recommend you guys go for immediately, is that way you can start earning moonstones, because Dream Snaps is by far the best way to get moonstones, and really just the only efficient way. I mean, you can get the daily moonstone chest, but it's going to take weeks just to be able to get enough for like one single item, so you don't want to miss out on that. They said the villagers will want things from places you have not unlocked yet. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I've got Ambrosia requests next to Tourmaline, and I can't get either of those. This actually makes the star path really difficult, especially because whenever you have to serve, like even on the star path, when you're on a newer account, it'll want you to serve villagers in the restaurants, which normally is easy for us. But whenever you don't have these ingredients and stuff unlocked, it actually like is gating me from being able to progress on my star path, and very early on my third account too. They said, unlike the Eternity Isle expansion, Storybook opens later, so if you aren't ready to leave the Vale for a moment, don't go now. I recommend this. I made the mistake. Actually, I think I did. I can't remember. I think, no, it was my second account. Yeah, I went over to Storybook Vale and started it up. But I recommend you do not touch Storybook Vale at all until you at least have your place up and running. You got a decent amount of ingredients, gold, and all that stuff. They said, I think we all forget how slow you are to start with, but wow, is that health bar small? It is. It is so small. Your stamina goes quick, and you can't even get like a food, like I've been saying, you know. Even Tiana takes a little while to unlock, but her stall would cost you, you know, a good amount of gold also just to purchase a couple of dishes. Yeah, you are very, very slow to start. It's actually one of the things I was complaining about on stream. They said, I'm honestly really enjoying it though, despite the flaws. It's been so long since I've seen the island so empty, and I'm eager to get where I am in my main save. So we got a post over here by Regular Me. They said, I am overwhelmed. How does everyone else tackle all the Star Path duties, plus the new characters, plus opening up Storybook Vale? I'm so overwhelmed with it all. I don't know if there's some method I can use to tackle everything. What do you guys do in the game with everything we have to do? Now that's a pretty good question, and you're definitely not alone. I see a lot of players ask that or say that they're overwhelmed. It's kind of hard to relate if you're a seasoned player. So if you've been playing for like 2 years, I think a lot of people kind of have it down. You know what to expect. You know what to save for. So like, for example, we knew that during this star path, we were going to end up getting like a bunch of memories. So we did end up finding like a little exploit to get a bunch of these memory orbs. So we were able to like leave a bunch of these on the ground. And then if you go back to your duties over here, so like your star path, like a lot of players kind of know what to expect when it comes to this too. So like, you know that you have to serve customers in Chez Remy. You know that you're probably going to get 2 of these to pop up at least together at some point. So some people will end up saving these until you get like at least 2 of these and then working on them together. Maybe you're going to get a task that wants you to do Dreamlight duties. So instead of just doing 15 Dreamlight duties right off the bat, you try and wait until you get a second one to pop up. That way you can stack duties and get them done faster, at least more efficiently. And then as you get to a lot of the later ones, it's going to get more difficult. But the star path is, it's really not that hard. You know, they end up time gating it, and that's what kind of helps it out too. So realistically, I usually just do the star path on stream. I usually don't do it off stream at all. And it'll take me to do a full star path. I would say it takes us probably anywhere from 6 to 8 streams. And we usually do it for like maybe an hour, hour and a half per stream. So with the star path having like 60 days, you kind of just have to pick out some days that you can do like an hour, maybe on a weekend if you're like really busy, you know, you work full time, you got a bunch of other responsibilities and stuff. Maybe just pick out certain days that you're free to work on it for like an hour until you get to a point that you're time gated. Also, you could always feel free to lean on the community a little bit. So like you could join Discords or other groups and things like that to help give you some resources if you need. And then there's also ways to level up your characters faster. So you can end up getting like a bunch of shiny gifts from community members that can help you level them up very fast. That way you don't have to like go out of your own way and manually level up each character. I think that's what really slows the game down, is if you have so many villagers. I mean, there's a lot in the game, and if you're behind, if you have like all of these like 40 some villagers in the game and they're not level 10, that's what really makes it challenging and can put you behind too. Like the quests are one thing, but actually leveling them up to be able to do the quest is a struggle. I kind of wish Gameloft would implement something else to let us level characters faster, because it's not really a point. There's no point in the game to even level the characters other than it just locking quests behind them. But most of the time it results in you just standing there for like 30 minutes handing either like flowers or gems or shiny gifts, and that's not really that fun either. So I wish they would add more ways to get more experience and level up your characters, because it is very slow. Something like that can definitely make it feel more overwhelming. And then when you first start out the game, I understand you have like tons and tons of quests. Right now, I'm completely done with it. But you also have to remember, this game is not meant to be speed ran. The only thing in this game that has a time limit on it is the star path. But again, I think it gives you plenty of days where you just have to sit down and do it for like an hour here, hour there, and then you'll be able to get it finished. Stack up your duties and you'll get it done. But the rest of it, leveling up characters, DLCs, you know, they are put in such a way that it gives you a couple months in between them. So you really just have to go at your own pace. And if you don't get it completely finished before the next DLC or the next free content, you know, it is what it is. You could just keep adding on. So I would just take your time, enjoy the game, go at your own pace. I wouldn't really worry too much about, you know, other players that are completely done with it, because I promise you it's better to have a lot of stuff than to be like me and a lot of others that have nothing to do. Because once you do finish, there's nothing. So this game goes from being super overwhelming to having nothing to do, unfortunately. And I think that's where Gameloft struggles to make this game really fit into a game that can be going on for years and years. I think that's where they need to find that balance to make things not so overwhelming, but also keep it rewarding and, you know, for other players to keep going for a long time. But that's definitely Dreamlight Valley's biggest issue right now. Now we have another post here. We kind of seem to have a trend of these kind of posts going on. 420 upvotes. A meme, as Shaman here said, does this game feel like doing chores to anyone else? To start, I absolutely love the idea of the game. I'm big into anything that has an Animal Crossing feel to it. Remy and the cooking was an incredible addition. Overall, I don't feel like I'm doing interesting quests. I feel like I'm doing chores. I've never had this feeling in Animal Crossing or similar games. I'm not even excited anymore when I find new characters, because I know that it's just going to be a list of things I have to get for them. Does anyone else have a similar experience with this game? Well, for this one, it's kind of the same answer as the previous one. It really just depends on where you're at in the game. So if you're a newer player or you've only played a little bit, this game I feel like is super fun. It's addicting. It's very rewarding while you're playing through. Now, a lot of the quests are like fetch quests. Go here, go from point A to point B, pick up some sticks, bring it here. And it can get a little stale. For me, the game hasn't ever really gotten stale. I think as we're going into the third year of Dreamlight Valley, I'm more of getting into the point of I'm like, okay, like when are we going to switch things up a little bit, because it is every update is, add a character, 2 characters, do a couple friendship quests, star path, and then 1 or 2 just features added to the game. That's about it. So I think that's where I'm at. Like I really enjoy the game. I have fun with it. I still play it every single day. But I can see where this Reddit user is, and I feel like they're probably at the same point. But again, if you're new, so this is what kept it exciting for me, was coming back here. I mean, look how many quests you have. And whenever you first start playing the game, it's really nice to get to know these characters. So if you're a newer player, I think it's all about being immersed into the world. You're learning each of these characters, you're discovering new things, whether it's dream snaps, the events, the star path, the premium shop, decorating. Just the overall world and the whole vibe and everything is just really fun and exciting to me. And that's how I had so much fun with it. I will say at the beginning of the game, it definitely had a lot more magic going for it, with the secret like potato quest, the forgotten storyline, dealing with like our inner child and all that stuff. I think that was really exciting. The game has definitely drifted away from that. Honestly, over this past year, reflecting back, it has been more of like less about story and stuff and more about just doing those friendship quests. So I don't know. We'll really have to see how year 3 is going to be, next year, 2025 for Dreamlight Valley, and see if it can kind of recapture some of that uniqueness and creativity that the game developers have brought to us on the first year. Even going back to like this past Christmas event, I was looking at last year and they were like very hyping up the holidays, so like this year they kind of just gave us like the Christmas tree and then an additional snowman, but we didn't really get like the codes that we were redeeming that gave us some items. But it wasn't just about that, it was about like the posts and stuff over on like Twitter and social medias that kept the hype alive. So for example, if you look over here on like December 13th, they gave us this code right here, and it gave us 500 moonstones. They had like a social media post. They had December 14th, they gave us another code. December 15th, they gave us code. They gave us furniture items, pixel shards, pixelized cooking flame. December 18th, that they gave us something. December 19th, they gave us a bunch of stuff. The 22nd, the 25th, like they just kept giving us stuff. And if you actually look at the social media post, they were making posts like this almost every single day. They were like, hey, Valley Villagers, we're kicking off the season of giving for the next several days. Join us for themed code drops, sweepstakes, and more. Claim your first game in-game now with a code of 500 moonstones. And the next day, they ended up giving us this post. They said, another day, another gift. Claim and try out the pixelized cooking flame and glitchy pixel duplicate using this code. There's actually my post from that last year. And then the next day, they ended up giving us this post. They said, cozy up with another code to claim. Use the following code to get these items. Like, they were really into the game. They were communicating with us and they were building up so much hype. I'm not really sure what happened this year or like where the disconnection came from, but I'm hoping they can really bring that spark and that magic back to the game, so we don't see so many players that kind of feel like the game has gotten dull. It's gotten kind of just doing these fetch quests and logging on, doing a few of them, and then that's pretty much it. So what I would do if you guys are kind of feeling like in that situation, maybe just take a break from the game just for a little bit. I mean, I don't know if we're going to have too much content planned for January, and the dev team might be on break also. They definitely deserve a break because they've been pumping out a lot of content throughout the year, even though it's been kind of some similar stuff. February, I'm thinking they may get back into it and give us another update. We should have Aladdin characters. Getting Aladdin and Jasmine a new realm would be really nice. So, but if you're also at the point where you don't really have anything to do, one thing you could do is start a new account. Of course, you would have to do it like on a different platform or something like that. you definitely don't want to reset your main profile. But that's what I'm doing to keep things fresh. I like to set myself different goals for it. So instead of like them quests that seem kind of repetitive, you could just start something new. You could start decorating. We have the floating islands now, so you could start working on some sort of floating island decoration. Getting the community involved is always really fun too. That's why I like to have our Discord and our Facebook groups and stuff like that, because I find the game more fun when we can actually interact with each other. And of course, through our YouTube comments here, discussing things and having these topics, these video topics and stuff, makes the game more interesting for me. But yeah, it seems like that's kind of where the community is at based on these past couple posts that I just seen. I'm still having a blast with the game. I still love it, but I do hope to see that they're going to shake some things up. That way we can retain the player base and keep the magic alive over here. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you all have the best day, and I'll see you in the next one.